is Tanya, Noor's mom. So today we are going to be speaking about colic in babies and how it's different from gas. So colic is not any disease or an illness. It is just a condition that is characterized by predictable periods of loud, high-pitched crying, almost like screaming, in an otherwise healthy baby for no apparent reason. So how do doctors diagnose that yes, your baby does have colic? So doctors follow a simple rule of 3 and they look for other symptoms that make them to diagnose that yes, your baby is suffering from colic. So what are those symptoms? So the number one symptom is that if your baby cries excessively, inconsolably, there's nothing that can console your baby, in a very loud, high-pitched, intensified kind of scream sound for minimum of 3 hours a day, almost at the same time every day, mostly it is late evenings onwards, for a minimum of 3 days in a week, and for a minimum of 3 weeks in a row. So if your baby follows this rule of 3 with an intensified crying, then doctors do diagnose it as colic. So there are some other symptoms also that doctors look for, which are your baby's sleep is disturbed, he doesn't want to feed or eat. Then when your baby is crying, your baby's face is very red, or babies clench their fists, or they frown, or they pull their legs up to their chest, right? And even when the crying episode stops, babies still continue to remain fussy. So all these symptoms together with the rule of 3 can confirm that your baby has colic. But please don't make this diagnosis yourself. It's best to go to your pediatrician, let him know of all the symptoms, and then let him make this diagnosis and confirm that yes, your baby is a colicky baby. So colic usually starts when babies are as small as 2 to 3 weeks old, and automatically starts to go down by when the baby is around 4 to 5 months. For some babies, it can also go on till around when they are 6 months old. Now, colic can happen to any baby, whether they be breastfed or formula fed, or they be a girl or a boy. And colic is a very, very common condition, and 1 out of 5 babies are known to have colic. But colic can be a very, very challenging situation both for the baby as well as the parent. Now, you all will ask me that these symptoms and signs that you just talked about are somewhat similar to what happens when babies have gas. So colic and gas are very different. So like I said, in colicky babies, what are the things that are different from gas? Number 1, they should satisfy that rule of 3. Secondly, the crying is very screamy, like it's like the baby is shouting. It's not like normal crying. So what is normal crying? Normal crying is baby is crying, you either give him a feed, make him sleep, give him his favorite toy, take him out, and in a few minutes he'll be okay. But with colic, that's not the case. That crying will not stop. And thirdly, fussiness remains even after the crying has stopped. Whereas in gas, if your baby has passed gas, then suddenly the baby becomes all normal and happy. Now, what causes colic? So, to be honest, and based on all the research that I have done and the research available, the cause of colic is still unknown. And there is no one particular thing that causes colic. Doctors say that it is a combination of things that can cause colic in babies, some multiple mechanisms that are in action that cause your baby to be distressed. Now, what are some of those causes? So, number 1 is your baby has an immature nervous system. So what does that mean? So when your baby is small, whenever he is awake, his nervous system is in overdrive. He is absorbing so many new things in his surroundings. There are new sights, new smells, new experience. all that your baby is absorbing every day, every moment he's awake. So sometimes some babies are not able to cope with all this stimuli in the environment, and it causes an overstimulation of their senses. It overwhelms them and they don't know what to do, and the only thing they know is to start crying. Second cause being having an immature digestive system. So just like I discussed in my previous video on gas, babies have an immature digestive system. That is, whatever they eat or drink, it goes quickly to the intestine without it letting have enough time to be broken down. And milk also has lactose, which is difficult to digest. So all these can cause baby gas, discomfort, and can also cause acid reflux. Now the third cause, so there are some studies around this, that women who used to smoke during pregnancy or after delivery are known to have colicky babies than women who don't. The next is that one possible cause is an imbalance of certain chemicals in the brain. So there are two chemicals that our brain secretes, serotonin and melatonin. So serotonin is usually secreted in the evening, and that is the time also when babies usually experience those colicky symptoms. So when the baby's brain is secreting more of serotonin and less of melatonin, serotonin causes your baby's intestines to kind of contract, and it probably gives them pain. And the last cause can be a possible allergy to either the lactose in the milk or to some ingredient that the breastfeeding mother has eaten. Now, how do you cure colic? So there is actually no cure for colic. The only thing you can do is calm your baby in that period when he is suffering from those symptoms. Other than that, there is no cure. The only cure is to let time pass. Let that period when your baby is cranky pass, and as baby grows older, anyways, colic automatically or magically will go away by around 4 to 6 months. There are some remedies that you can use to calm a colicky baby. Now the first remedy that mostly all pediatricians do recommend is to give your baby some Colicate drops. So I have shown them in my gas video also. These also help in gas and indigestion. They basically help in releasing any kind of gas built up in the intestines. The dosage is given right behind it, but it's best to check with your pediatrician if you can use this for your colicky baby or not. The second remedy is to respond to your baby's crying. So we all know that with small babies, crying is their only mode of communication. So whenever your baby is crying, you need to respond to it by holding your baby, picking up your baby, or by ensuring your baby is not sleepy, or if he's hungry, or if he has a dirty diaper and that needs to be changed. So you've got to respond to your baby's needs in order to calm him down, reassure him that you're still there. Next is a 5S strategy that you can use to calm your baby. So the first S is to swaddle your baby. So swaddling is a technique where you wrap your baby in a pretty compact manner to mimic the same environment when he is in the womb of the mother. Next S is shushing. So whenever you feel your baby is in that cranky mode, you can shush your baby. So what does that mean? You make calm shushing noises. So either you do a shh, or you play white noise, or you switch on the fan, or like the cooler. So you know the sound of the rain. You can play all of these on your phone. So these are basically continuous notes of music or notes of sound, and these are also used to actually mimic the sounds that the baby is used to while in the womb. So next S is swing. So we all know that swinging and rocking do calm a baby. So you can either pick up your baby, swing him in your arms, rock him in a rocking chair, or just rock him, walk with him around the house, put him in a swing, a rocker or a bouncer, and it might help calm your baby. You can also go for a car ride in a car seat, because that continuous motion also sometimes calm down your baby. The next S is suckling. So we all know that babies love to suck and suckle because that is like a self-soothing mechanism that helps calm them down. Which is why if you think your baby is crying, try and breastfeed him or give him a bottle. And if not that, if you think your baby is not hungry, try and giving a pacifier to your baby. The last S is laying your baby on his side or stomach, because it is said that if you make your baby lay down on his stomach or on the side, it calms him down. The next strategy is that when you know that this is the particular time when my baby is cranky, then avoid going to new places at that time, avoid new experiences at that time, and avoid any new visitors also, because that might overwhelm the baby and further trigger that crying. You can also play soothing music at home. So jazz music, if you search on YouTube soothing jazz, just play that music. I still use that music for Noor to make her sleep, and it really it does work well. Then there are certain massage techniques that you can use to calm your baby for colic, for gas. And another way to calm down your baby is to dim the lights in the baby's room. Ensure there are no distracting sounds or noises that might startle the baby. Also, see if you can take your baby out in the fresh air. Sometimes just going for a walk or just taking your baby in the balcony or in the stroller can help your baby calm down. And lastly, try skin to skin contact with your baby, and that might help him calm down by hearing to the sound of your heartbeat. Now, in case you think your baby is also having gas along with this crying episode, you can try all the remedies that I have told you in detail in my gas video. But whatever you do, please don't give any gripe water to your baby, because gripe water, even though now some alcohol free versions are in the market, but they still have sodium bicarbonate, and it can really have a bad effect on your baby's kidneys. Lastly, I want to discuss a very important topic about parents and their self-care while managing a colicky baby. So colic can be a very, very stressful situation full of anxiety and stress for parents, because parents have the task of actually trying to calm a baby who is not willing to listen or get calmed down by anything. So there are chances that managing that kind of situation can evoke feelings of anger or helplessness or even uselessness. You might start thinking that you're a bad parent, you're a bad mom, you're not able to calm down your baby. But please don't get such feelings. Colic is a very, very common condition. 1 out of 5 babies have colic, and colic is not your fault. You just have to let that time pass and things automatically will become okay. So if you think that that time when your baby is crying, it is becoming very difficult to manage for you, take turns with your partners or take help from someone else. Or you can also speak to your doctor about it and see how he can help you out in any way by having some counseling sessions. But this is absolutely normal. Please don't doubt yourself. And in these times when the baby is absolutely inconsolable, it is very stressed situation, try soothing techniques that you might be against. Like I talked about pacifier. A lot of moms, they are very hell-bent that we don't want to give a pacifier to our babies. Our parents are against it, mother-in-law, father-in-law are against it. But in such situations, when there is no situation, it is okay to soothe your baby, and you can wean the pacifier off. And even if not that, moms get a lot of rant about that, stop picking up your baby, you'll get him into a bad habit, stop rocking, stop singing, swinging the baby. So please do not listen to all of these. You cannot spoil such a small baby. Baby is not getting into any habits right now. Please soothe your baby. That's the only way to calm him. He's also in so much stress. So do take care of yourself also while you are managing a colicky baby, because research also shows that mothers who have colicky babies have higher risk of developing postpartum depression. So this was all about colic. I hope my video was helpful.